Salutations everyone, this is Jane. Let's talk a little bit how I like to run tabletop role-playing games, shall we? I try not to indulge myself to talk too much about myself, but I have to give you some background. I have been a fantasy enthusiast for all my life, consuming and creating stories. In 2020, I started running D&D games, and ever since I've been hooked on dungeon mastering. And in 2023, I started my journey as a professional dungeon master. Since I have run the very famous module Curse of Strahd for 4 different groups from start to finish, each table taking roughly 65 sessions, I really thank my players for their commitment. D&D has been my jam since 2020, but I have also heard the Call of Cthulhu, and I have started running games also as the keeper of arcane lore. On top of this, I am very eager to learn new systems in the future. I have also started coaching other DMs as I like to share my knowledge in this craft. Now that you have some background, let me tell you how I approach the job of a game master. Foremost, I am a storyteller. My goal is to set the stage for the players so that they can build something of their own, something unique. I do my best to allow you to bring your fantasies into life as we sit down together to tell stories. TTRPG is not just about rolling dice. It's about creating an immersive atmosphere that we can all enjoy together. So first of all, I'm a storyteller. Second of all, I am a role player. To me, this means acting and voice acting to really bring the scene alive. This is how I make memorable NPCs and memorable moments. While I do love to roleplay with my players, it is completely up to you how much you want to exercise this aspect of the game. Do what feels good to you. And thirdly, I aim for the player agency. This means that you will have the ability to affect the game world. I do this by clear and consistent ruling. I like to do this by following the rules as written so that you as a player have some kind of an idea what to expect. I like to keep things also transparent by rolling the dice visible to the players. The idea is that while the story may remain a mystery to you, my ruling should not be. Also, I want to stretch that my table is a safe place. We deal with epic and tragic stories, and I allow myself and my players to go to extremes. But your safety is my priority. I allow the stories to be terrifying and brutal, and I also allow mature content that is only for adults. But not everything is okay, however. You can read more about these subjects in the link in the description. And if there are subjects that you don't want the game to include, tell me so that we can avoid them. And finally, I approach the job of a game master as a professional, which means, for example, that I will be on time for the games. I also communicate as soon as possible to my players if there are any changes to the schedule because of holidays or something like that, because I respect you and your time. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about my GMing style. Like I said earlier, I like to keep things transparent. Generally, this means, for example, that you will be able to see my dice rolls, and the same rules apply for NPCs and monsters and PCs. I absolutely don't like to play against my players. I want to celebrate your victories. A word of warning so that you know what you're signing up for. While the storytelling is always in the center, the combat can feel a little bit crunchy in my table. This is because I like to follow the rules as written, so that even the most heated moments feel fair and justified. I like to also give you as a player plenty of time to think about your next move, so that you can play as a team. In general, I like to give my players a lot of freedom to what direction they want to go. At the same time, I like to keep the game going so that it doesn't come to a halt. This may mean sometimes giving the players a clue of which direction to take, or sometimes make it more clear what options there are. And should there be disagreement between the players, I also help to find a compromise in these situations. I should also tell you that my players have highly rated me for the following things. Number 1, creativity. My players feel like the world is alive and reactive to their choices. Number 2, storytelling. My players really feel like the games are a chance to let your imagination fly. And number 3, visual aids. I like to use art, battle maps, even soundscape to deepen the immersion in my games. This will also help you to understand what's actually going on in the scene, as the map or the picture tells you more than 1,000 words. Now that you know how I approach the job of a game master and you know about my game mastering style, let's talk a little bit about the tools that I use for running the games before we wrap this up. I use Discord as the main tool for communicating with my players. On the Living Fantasy server, you will find most of the instructions related to games. I like to use Founder VTT for most of my games to bring them truly alive. There we can explore maps and have the tokens move in the scene. See art related to locations, people and monsters. Roll dice and see the results automatically calculated. Track the character's status on their character sheet. And run combat encounters smoothly, concentrating on the storytelling. These are my main tools, but I might use others as well, depending on the situation. Now, if you feel like I could be your game master, there's a link in the description of this video to StartPlaying.games. There you can look for any available games or request a custom game for you. You can also find a link to my Discord server, Living Fantasy. It's a great way to get started, even if you're not planning on joining any games right now. Thank you very much for taking this time to get to know me a little bit better. I bid you safe journeys. Have a good one.